on the health and safety of the citizens of the state, but also to the impact on citizens' constitutionally protected rights, such as the rights to life, liberty, property, free exercise of religion, peaceable assembly, etc. Said another way, it is the intent of the legislature that decision-making by government officials at the state and local levels during future emergencies take into consideration the impact of those emergencies on health and safety, balanced with the impact of potential decisions on the liberties of the people to move, to act, and to exercise their own right to self-government.
Did you want to speak to your motion, Representative?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yes. Many of you, if not all of you, have probably received input from your constituents during this last year. Couched within a lot of this input are feelings with regard to individual rights, constitutionally protected individual rights. And that is certainly something that many citizens here in the state of Utah feel very strongly about. And this language that I have just proposed attempts to capture the important balance that must be achieved when decisions are made to impose restrictions or limitations. That balance needs to not only weigh the impact on health and safety, but also the impact on individual rights. And I hope that this does that appropriately, and I would ask for your support to this motion.
Thank you, Representative. Let's go to discussion on the motion. Representative Hawks.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm going to rise against the motion with all due respect to the good sponsor of the motion who's clearly worked hard to try to articulate some language in clear and cogent way. The reason I object is simply this. When we debate and pass legislation, to my mind, that's the four corners of the legislation that we pass. And so when we get into debates about intent language and try to push it around, it kind of muddies the water. This language isn't part of the bill. It's a good articulation of somebody's perspective on it, but I just think we should be careful, colleagues, before we ratify language that sort of goes along in tandem with a bill. It muddies the interpretation after the fact, and I just think it seems a little bit out of round in terms of our process and procedures. Thank you.
Thank you. Further discussion to the motion to spread intent language. Representative Sagers.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm not sure others feel, but when I took the oath of office, I made a covenant to do certain things. Those things include, before I vote, weighing the consequences of that vote and the impact it has on not only the people I represent, but the state of Utah. And I think that's a given in our body. And subsequently, I don't think we need that language. I'm going to vote against it. Thank you.
Thank you. Further discussion. Representative Dunnigan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So I speak against the motion to spread the language. You've had a robust discussion on the bill. That becomes statute. We've taken our position. That should stand. Thank you.
Further discussion. Representative Thurston.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise in favor of this motion.
No more lights. Representative Christiansen, we'll go to you for summation on your motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In terms of process, obviously, making this type of motion is entirely appropriate. I do appreciate the comment made that each one of us have taken an oath to uphold the Constitution, not only of the state of Utah, but also of the United States of America. And one of our fundamental responsibilities as legislators is to ensure that policy does protect citizens' rights. That's one of our, if not the primary responsibility. And I ask for your vote in support. Thank you.
Thank you. All of you that are in favor of the intent language described and moved by Representative Christiansen, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? No. Well, the motion fails. I need 10 or more to stand for division. All 5. We've got 5. We're in division on the motion to spread intent language.
Those are the names we need to pay attention to, guys.
Representative Gibson? Seeing all those present have voted, Representative Kohler? Voting is closed. The motion fails. All right, that concludes our floor time